Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 7. I am Sleepy Phil, and this is... I don't know what you should be today. We're going to call you Hyped Up Raymond, because the dynamic's going to be very different today, folks. We're filming this one in the morning, and as I get more caffeinated, I should perk up a little bit.
I'm awake.
Yeah, I know, you're awake. You're awake. Today's podcast is just going to be a Randy Rando one because this week has been crazy. But before I get into that, as always, folks, if you like what we do, subscribe, give us a follow, drop a like, drop a comment, tell your friends about the show, and you could find us on Rumble, YouTube, and Spotify. But yeah, so this week, Randy Rando, because I don't know if you've been keeping up with this week, but it's been crazy.
No, it's been happening.
We've had assassinations, we've had crypto, we've had Bitcoin going over 110K, we've had more planes crashing, we've had
Saw the plane.
Yeah, we've had the DOJ coming out and say, I wasn't sure if it was exactly this week, but we've had the DOJ coming out and saying that Epstein didn't kill himself, that it was actually a suicide. Both the head of
Wait.
the
That it was a suicide or wasn't a suicide?
That it was a suicide. Sorry, that they had him coming out saying that he did kill himself.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. They're saying that Epstein not killing himself was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both the head of the DOJ and the FBI did that in an interview. So that's a wild one. And we had craziness with Trump ambushing the head of South Africa and all that nut stuff too. But yeah, it's been a crazy week.
Mexican sailboat crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes. The sailboat crash as well. It's been nonstop all over the place this week, and because of that, I'm just like, fuck it. Let's talk about why is the world so crazy. Because it seems like it's just hyping up and ramping up all over the place now. And I just wonder if it's just the news media pushing all this shit all the time because, you know, being enraged, being scared, all this stuff gets clicks and views. But, like, I think we're just driving ourselves nuts with this constant, like, media, like, blast all the time, 24/7 in your hands. I think we need to go back.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to where, like, you can only get news if you get a newspaper or watch it on TV.
I don't know about that, but...
Or, like, we need to, like, paywall the news in some way.
Maybe.
Could you imagine, like, if you couldn't get news at all unless you paid for it?
I don't know about that, but, like, I don't know. Fewer news sources, maybe? Or regulated sources?
Maybe. I'm not trying to stop people from getting the information. I'm trying to stop them from being blasted from every side about it all the time. You know what I mean? It used to be like you had like a little bit of precision. You had to laser focus in. Now it's just like a shotgun blast all the time. You get peppered with news, and half of it's true, half of it's fake. You don't know like which person's telling you the truth. Fucking they put different filters on news now too, which is wild. I'm like, why are they putting filters on the TV? But
You're talking about filters.
So like depending on
like Snapchat filters?
Sometimes yes, but like the different color gradient too, purposefully making things look certain ways. And we've always done this, folks. This is not a modern day thing. As long as there's been news, there's been people controlling the news, and that's another like maybe we'll talk about conspiracy theories a little bit today too. But I think the still the wildest one, probably for our generation and the younger generations, was fucking the head of the DOJ and the FBI coming out this week and saying that Epstein did kill himself. The head of the FBI seemed, or was it the head of the FBI? Either way, high level officials came out and said this, and the one seemed more convinced than the other because he used to be like I think a criminal defense lawyer or whatever. He's like, oh, I've seen plenty of these things. It's all conducive of like suicide, and the other one's like kind of like, yeah, he killed himself. And this is one of those things where like it's like, did he not? Can we get some more fucking evidence here? Can we get some more because again, both of the guards were asleep. There's no video of this shit. Fucking, he had been assaulted before, put in a cell by himself, and supposed to be on suicide watch, where they check up every 30 minutes, and they did, or like every 15 minutes, something like that, 30 minutes, and they didn't do it, and fucking, then the guy's found dead.
It wasn't like their position the whole time that he did kill himself, though. Like, so like they had a whole press conference to say, like, hey, we haven't changed our stance. Like,
yes, but so the heads of these departments change with like every new administration. So like when it was because I think you'll have to look it up. When did Epstein die? I think that was during Trump's first term that he died.
Let's find out now.
Because so long, but not that long ago. Yeah. Yep. So he did die
August 2019.
He did die during Trump's first term, when he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and had like some questionable people in certain positions, and depending on which side you're on, he may have some questionable people now. And I don't think anybody really knows what they're doing when they're president. I feel like you just wing it all the time, like regardless. And everybody comes out looking older. The exception was Trump his first term. He didn't look like he aged that much, and Biden in his only term. And that's just because Biden was ancient to begin with. So if he aged at all, it was hard to tell. The second time around, though, fucking Trump's looking a lot more like how Obama did after he came in and went out. He looks like he's getting tired in there. But
I mean, no surprise. How could you fucking not? I mean, I was in management for a few years. I came out looking older, and I managed I was low level in a relatively small company. Imagine managing the whole fucking country
and the shit that you're exposed to, and like people don't think it because like, oh, they're always out golfing or some other thing like that. Yeah, but they're working 24/7.
Yeah.
There was no moment of the day where the president cannot be reached by somebody. And fucking they're like, "Oh yeah, he's golfing." Yeah, but there's people coming to him on the golf course telling him the shit about like what's going on. Even well, maybe with Biden, who knows. But even when Biden was in Delaware, they have like communication channels that they tell these things to them. Even famously back with Harry Truman, and Harry Truman had the little White House in Key West, is what they renamed the fucking property that he spent most of his term at. He had a fucking U.S., I think, destroyer parked off the coast Key West so that he could relay messages back and forth to D.C. So, like, even when a president's like somewhere remote, they are not remote. They're reachable at all times. But yeah, so that first time around, they're like, oh, no, he definitely killed himself. And everyone's like, yeah, we don't fucking believe it. Then the Biden administration came in. Nobody did anything further. They're like, no, we're not going to do it. And part of the thing that Trump ran on and his administration and the people coming in, we're going to expose the JFK, the RFK, the fucking Epstein files, and even the Martin Luther King files, too.
Have they done any of that yet?
They released the JFK files. Nothing burger there, because why would there be? This is the thing. People have been chasing that for years, and the thing about conspiracy theories, a lot of the times, and I've said this before in a previous podcast, they're fun. They're fun. Mm-hmm. I like going in and like fucking like teasing that hypothetical. It's almost like a movie scenario in some of these things. But the problem is with conspiracy theorists, and it's a lot like religion. And unless you show them 100% undeniable proof, they will never fucking believe it if it doesn't fit what they think the conspiracy theory should be. So the JFK thing, for sure, there's some shenanigans going on in that whole thing. And we will never know the full truth, because the truth of the matter is those files are fucking probably gone, because this was a time before the internet. And if the CIA was involved in any way, you think they wouldn't have fucking burned those fucking files before now? The Freedom of Information Act is very nice, people, but fucking like, if the government doesn't want you to see a record, it's gonna be gone. And then they'll say, well, where's that record? Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we go from page like 5 to 7 here? Where's page 6? Whoops. Old document. We don't have it. Like, and it's not technically unreasonable. I don't know. I don't even know how far back our fucking records go. You know what I mean? We're about to celebrate 250 years as a fucking country. You think we got all those records from back then? Like, it's only as good as the standards from like when we started doing those things. And again, pre-internet. But so regardless, though, there was a few more JFK files that came out. Like, nothing really happened there. I don't know. We fully got the RFK files yet. I haven't heard much about that. To be perfectly honest, I'd have to like circle back around and see if anything more was discovered with that. And for the Martin Luther King files, they went to go release them, but the family.
Oh, you did tell me that.
Yeah, the family asked for them to be held on to for a little bit, and that one I'm really curious too, because that one they suspect that the FBI killed. Yeah, because he was under a constant FBI surveillance at the time. And then you're telling me the FBI didn't notice somebody trying to fucking shoot him? But somebody I talk with is also talking about there's like a lot of like personal stuff behind the scenes that might come out in those files with Martin Luther King, and like that he might have had mistresses, stuff like that. Stuff that today people are like, who cares? But back then would have been like scandalous.
Yeah.
But again, I don't really like that shit anyway, because much like work, politics, that kind of stuff, what you do in your personal life to a certain degree matters. But like if you're leading a fucking movement, or if you're leading the country, or leading a job, can you do that job well? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, like, unless you're doing shit that's illegal, I don't fucking really care. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this guy's doing that thing. Okay, but did he make things better? Well, yeah, but he's doing this in his spare time. I don't give a fuck.
That's his spare time. It's his stuff.
Yeah, is he doing illegal shit? No? Fuck it then. Let him do whatever he wants.
Is it having any effect on this thing that he's doing? No?
Yeah. A guy likes to wear dress and high heels in his spare time. What the fuck do I care? Now, if they're taking bribes, if they're doing what our lovely congressperson did in New Jersey, and going down to foreign countries and hooking up with people of questionable ages, that's a little like fucking problematic. Yeah, I still love that one. I forget what fucking senator it is, so I'm not gonna say which one, but I know it was a senator from New Jersey that fucking that got caught in the scandal of like they hooked up with a minor in, allegedly, I will say allegedly because it was never confirmed 100%, but the response kind of confirms it. Fucking hooked up with a underage person in the Dominican Republic, and basically like the response was, well, I'm not going to say that I did or didn't, but if I did, it's legal there.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, dude, if
you just said you did, you fuck.
Yeah, if you know the legality of that in the country that you went to, like, all right, you did it. That's like going like, yeah, I went to Amsterdam and I may or may not have smoked weed, but it's legal there. It's like, yeah, okay, so you smoked weed. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the fuck, man? Yeah. Yeah, we got lovely people like that rolling around. But, no surprise when you can't find Congress guilty of insider trading. You can't drug test the fucks. That one's fun. You know that? It's illegal to drug test Congress. Not just they don't do it. It is illegal.
Why?
Because back in the fucking 70s and 80s, they were probably doing a lot of cocaine. Like, it's very fucked up that the people that make the laws on drugs can't be drug tested for said drugs.
Huh.
Yeah. Rules for thee, buddy. Rules for thee. Fucking, I got a lot of hate for government. Let's just say that.
When we're like, how did that one get passed? Like, oh yeah, the one's passing them.
Yeah, and I will say too, like, my hate for the government is not that how fucked up it is. It's how fucked up it is, and nobody like really realizes it. Like all the stuff that like goes down, and they're like, "How can we do this?" I'm like, "Because you assholes voted it in years ago." Like, what are you talking about? Like that was, again, with all the deportation shit like that going on. People are like, "They can't do this." I was like, "What do you mean?
Yeah.
This has been the rule of the land since the State Department was founded. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, the State Department controls who's allowed to come in, who needs to fucking go, and they could do it for any reason whatsoever. They don't fucking up to and including green card holders. They're like, they can't just do that. I'm like, yeah, they can. And the only reason why they think they can't is because until fucking the State Department got to a certain size, for a very long time, the State Department was the only one that issued passports to U.S. citizens too. But eventually, the country got too big, and they're like, we can't handle all this. So they like created like another like separate department that helps do that. But like the actual like State Department, like the head of the State Department was the one going, you get a passport, you don't. You get a passport, you don't. Like not everybody got passports either back in the day.
Huh.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, I applied for it and I got it. And I don't know if they would deny them to you today either. I don't know what things would quantify you to like not get a passport today. But these rules and laws are in the back end in place that they could do this shit.
I got to renew mine.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize anyway. Revoking your ability to be here too is not, they don't need due process because you're not being convicted of a crime. We're just saying you need to leave now. That would be like, if you invite somebody over to your house and they're like, you need to go. And then they're like, no, I need a court trial before I leave. Like, what? What do you mean you need a court trial before you leave? I'm saying it was nice having you over, but you need to leave now. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then if you don't get the fuck out of there, if they don't get the fuck out of there, what do? You call the police. And the police will forcefully remove them. That, like, if you simplified the immigration process to that, like at a more like personal level, you're like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, if you were a visitor in my house and then you fucking left, and then I said, oh yeah, while they were here, they broke a bunch of shit, and I want to press charges. Then you would be afforded a trial and due process. But if it's just like, yeah. Come in, and now I want you to go. You were welcome here, and now you're not. So get the fuck out. Like, and people don't realize too when they revoke some of these things, unless it's like an ICE deportation for like violent stuff and whatnot. People's visas and green card, well, green card's a little bit different, but people's visas run out here all the time, and they don't immediately remove you. It's not like, oh no, my visa runs out tomorrow and I'm going to fucking take these people and drag them out of the country. It's usually months down the line when they finally catch up to the backlog, because even getting your visa renewed for workers here takes months. You know, we've got almost every company I've worked at has had like people that have had like visas in like one way or another. And every time their thing runs out, they're just like, fuck, now I got to stay here for a bit. That's the only thing that happens. If your visa runs out, you can't leave because you for sure will not be allowed back in. Yeah. And the funny part about that is people are like, oh, what if they need it? They can't leave the country. They can fly around the country. They're not checking your fucking visa when you fly around the country. That's the funny part. People are like, oh, they're going to flag their status. The only one that's got that shit is the immigration side at the airport. You fly locally, all they're looking at is your fucking ID. Oh, you got an ID? Okay, great. Are you on that no-fly list? No? Okay, great. That one's a whole nother one that's fucked up, but, talk about that another.
Yeah, they're going to put you on a no-fly list now.
I hope not. That's all I'm saying. Fucking, I'm not a fan of what we do in government, but not being a fan of what we do in government isn't illegal. It's like one of those things that feels like it should be illegal, but it's not. And because of that pressure, like, just like, if you wanted to research guns and buy guns, it's legal in this country. It's perfectly legal. But every time I've ever gone online and be like, oh, let me look into this process, it just feels illegal. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't know if I should do this. I feel more comfortable going online and looking at the fucking local dispensaries than I do that. And weed is way more illegal in this country than fucking guns are. Like, I
bought my first gun online.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, where does that feeling is just societal pressure all the time of like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. You should do having that's bad. you shouldn't question the government. You shouldn't question authority. It's like, but I feel like I should. Tell me I shouldn't.
You absolutely should.
Yeah, I know. But like, again, like even talking about this stuff, you're like, fuck. Am I on a watch list now? And the answer is yes. We're all on a watch. Fuck it. That's why it's always so funny when these things go down. And fucking, they're like, yeah, the threat was known to the FBI. Okay, well, why didn't they do anything? And then you realize it's just because everybody's known to the FBI because the NSA has all our internet history. So
yeah, say hi to our NSA agents. Hey Nate, hey T-Dog.
T-Dog. But yeah, like we live in a digital age. Everything's recorded, everything's fingerprinted. You're tracked by your location of your phone at all fucking times.
I'm actually fingerprinted.
Yeah, and fucking I refuse to do so. Not because I have anything to hide. I just don't like to give more of my personal data and stuff away than I have to. Like, fuck you, you don't need it. But I
don't care.
Oh, well, that was another funny thing. I don't think it happened this week. It might have happened the other week. Did you see that 23andMe got sold to a Chinese firm?
Nah. Which was the one that like basically already got shut down because they were doing shady shit? Was that 23andMe?
I don't think they got shut down for doing. 23andMe got shut down because they had no business model past where we could tell you where you came from. And once everybody got told where they came from, what the fuck are you doing with it? Because their whole thing back then was, we're not going to sell your DNA information. And then as that business model started to collapse, they did sell that information to the government. Fun. So, your DNA records are on file with the government now. And they're like, oh, it's not tracked to a name. I'm like, come on. If you gave them the database of that information, I'm sure it's tracked in some way, shape, or form. Or even if it's not, they could use that information interlaced with other DNA information that they already have to kind of like suss out, okay, well, we got this criminal's DNA record on file, and now we have other profiles here that match, so this must be his family members. So now we have relatives of this person.
But also, like, for sure, like, it's just tracked.
Yeah. So, like, it wasn't shady. They just, like, they started to crumble further because they're like, we won't do that. Then we did it, and now, like, they went bankrupt. And so because they went bankrupt, the company went up for sale, and a Chinese firm fucking bought it. So now the Chinese are going to have your, like, data. And I guess there is a process to go and have your records deleted from 23andMe. But again, do you really know if they're deleted?
Yeah. And who's actually doing that?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I did this process. It's like, cool. Is it off the server? Can I have proof of that? Like, how the fuck would you know? Like, oh yeah, I deleted the record.
No, we didn't make any copies.
Yeah. No, we deleted your personal information for sure. It's gone. Don't worry about it. There's not a backup server over there.
Yeah, and anonymity doesn't exist on the internet.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why, like, all the stuff that it's like, yeah, destroy your data. It's like, okay, cool. Like, you could destroy my data when I fucking delete my account, but that's more so I don't get spam from you anymore because all the data that I had when I had the account, you already fucking have and sold to other people anyway. It's such like a weird like back end trace. The internet's a weird place. The world's a weird place.
That reminded me though of as management doing the yearly like employee surveys that go out and they want everybody to do them that are quote unquote anonymous, and then you get the emails from HR saying, "Hey, how come this specific person hasn't done their thing yet?" I thought they were anonymous. How do you know who's done it and who hasn't?
Well, they're anonymous, but they haven't received an email from that email yet. So it's not really anonymous because the only true anonymous surveys are like ones you get through website links, and even then they're not truly anonymous unless you go home and you click that website link from fucking an IP that's not tied to the fucking corporate network. Mm-hmm. Because like, oh, who accessed this thing from this at this time? That's why like all that stuff. Like all the anonymity like surveys and things, people have always been like, "Oh, it's not really anonymous." I'm like, "No shit," but don't say anything that you just wouldn't be comfortable saying to them in person anyway.
Yeah.
Some people go like full bore, and you're like, "Why the fuck are you doing that?" Like they're like, "You're going to say these certain things." I'm like, "Yeah," because if they came and asked me right now, I would tell them that exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. they're like, "Oh, that sounds bad." I'm like, improving the workplace sounds bad. What the fuck are you talking about?
You
Like,
gotta watch the way you say it.
Yeah, don't be a jackass. But if you have legitimate concerns and you voice them in there, like, okay, it's not a problem.
Worst they're gonna do is ignore you.
Yeah, and then like there's positive things in there too. Like fucking, I appreciate the free coffee in my work, and I've put that in surveys before because it's nice. I drink a lot of fucking coffee, and that adds up. As I know from the previous workplace where it wasn't free, and I was buying my own K cups.
Yep.
Yeah. Coffee starts to be like booze after a while if you're drinking enough of it. Like it adds up quick. So, and they're like, "You're just being a jackass." I'm like, "I'm not. That's an actual nice perk of this work. They don't have to give us free coffee."
Yep. Yeah, we at the last place, they our coffee was free in the small office, and whenever like it wasn't made or whatever, like people got mad, and I'm like, what? Like it's free, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it. Just take time and make the coffee, man.
Yeah. Or that they'd be in there for like 25 minutes, after the start of their shift, like slowly sipping their coffee in a group chat, and I'm like, y'all gonna get to work?
Yeah.
Like we don't have to provide you with this shit. Fucking go get to work.
Yeah. Bring the coffee to your desk. It'll be fine. Yeah, no, I know. It's the little things like that drive me nuts sometimes, and we struggle with our work too, like the coffee not being made thing. Fucking nobody refills the water, and it's like, dude, it takes 2 seconds because we have like cups to like refill the water like tank because we got like the K cup things and the espresso. If you make a cup in the K cup machine while it is brewing, you could take that water thing, go over, fill that water thing with water, and then dump it into like I'm not even saying take the whole tank.
Yeah.
If you fill that once, it refills the water that you're taking out. So like we're maintaining homeostasis there. Just keep that shit balanced. Like what the fuck? Like you people like, but it just shows me like how like most people think. You know what I mean? Like that they can't be bothered to do anything that goes past like something that might be beneficial for the next person. Yeah, it's it. Like offices are a funny like microcosm of like how the general populace thinks, and it's very scary to me because it just gets worse the larger the group gets too.
And then half the people will take their dirty K cup out, and half of the people will leave their dirty K cup in.
Yeah, well, that one doesn't really bother me as much because that one's kind of like the do you wipe down the gym equipment before you use it or after you use it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different like thought process there. So like I understand as long as the exchange is going, but I get if you're on the opposite end of the exchange where you might be annoyed.
Yeah, well that's like most of the time, like if everybody like if everybody's doing back to back, it's not so bad. But like when it's been sitting there overnight,
oh no. If I'm at the end of the day, I will remove it.
Yeah.
But like during the day, I'm definitely one of those ones that like I leave it, and then like the next time I remove the previous one and put my new one in. But like, it's just how it is. And I feel like that's more because every time I get there, there's already one in. So like, if I got there and it was empty, when I was done mine, I would empty it. But that's like never the case. It's the other way around. And in gyms, I do both. I wipe it down before I use it and after I use it. And technically, you should just have to do it after. But because I don't know if somebody did it.
Yep.
And that's more a germaphobe thing than anything. I know people just go nuts. I know people that don't put the toilet seat covers on in public restrooms either. And I'm like, ugh.
Wipe down the seat, put the toilet seat cover on.
Yeah.
Wipe down the seat again when I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do that. Some people just plop right down. I'm like, what the fuck?
Put the cover on, and then I wipe it down when I'm done so I don't leave my ass sweat for the next person.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the different mindset of people and how varying we are, but how similar we are at the same time. I don't know. It's interesting. I understand why people go into the field of psychology. I don't like psychologists, but I understand the field. The field's interesting to try to study like the human brain. But if you talk to like 10 random people in that like if you were in that field and you sampled 10 random people and you asked them the same series of questions, I think you could immediately come to the conclusion that we're all fucking uniquely different and we're all fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel, and then we got on a very long tangent from the government there.
Well, you said from the start it was random.
Yeah, it's very random here, but fucking yeah. But and then back, way back, call back the Epstein thing. That and the again conspiracies where they're proven one way or another. People won't believe them. The Epstein one, I firmly believe until they come out with more evidence. Because the other thing with that too, on the flip side, was the Attorney General Pam Bondi was going to release those Epstein files, which was fucking nothing. And then it keeps going like, oh, well, they were withholding them from us. So then they fucking went and they like raided an FBI office in New York to try to get these files that were quote unquote there. And nothing's come out since. So either they're jerking our chain and there's absolutely nothing around all of this, or fucking they've all tried to broach the subject at a high level and people have been told, if you fucking do this, you're going to collapse the country. And well, considering the flight logs from Epstein's plane and the implications of not just people in this country but foreign countries that have like visited Epstein Island. I mean, look, fucking, they took down Prince Andrew just for the fact that like he had like partied with them, and the implications there. The royal family's like, yeah, you're stripped of all your titles. But like, I firmly believe if it is as bad as they say, that like it would just cause complete like chaos and rioting. People would lose their fucking mind. And especially after the whole like Luigi Mangione thing, I think if that kind of information came out, it would just be like open season on the streets.
Set the world on fire.
Yeah. Because like, I again, conspiracy theory here, folks. Like I have no proof of a lot of this shit, but it just makes logical sense to me that it would be gated like that. I think that like fucking as you get to certain rings of power, money, influence, the rules change for you. And I don't mean rules of law. The rules of law are there. You could pay your way out of some of these rules of law. Sometimes it's not illegal. It's just if you can afford it or not. But I more mean like you get to this level and here's the new set of rules for playing at this level. And you need to follow that set of rules. And if you don't, we will kick you back down to the bottom level and fucking move up and up and up and up and up. And because, and I'm not talking millionaires, people. Maybe way back in the day, millionaires got you in that club. Now millionaires, you're no different than somebody that won the lottery. They're not gonna talk to you. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, now here's the game. I'm talking when probably not even 100 million. I'm talking when you get $500,000, close to $1 billion, for sure. Somebody somewhere contacts you and says, okay, this is the rules now. And you're going to play by the rules. And if you're not going to play by the rules, the thing that you're about to do to make you $1 billion is going to disappear overnight. And when people are like, no, they couldn't do that. I'm like, do you know how much fucking power and influence the high spheres of government and money have? They could for sure fucking do that thing. People don't even realize that if you have enough money, you could travel to any fucking country in the world and not need a passport. Because if you private charter flights, you don't go through security checks and shit, and you could just leave here, go to another country, and fucking in that same private airport, and they don't fucking check you. There's nothing there. They're not like, oh yeah. It's interesting. I've listened to like podcasts of like kids of like rich kids and whatnot, and they didn't even like realize passports were a thing till they were older because they would never have to have any kind of document checks like when their family went to these different places.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like money affords you access. And really money affords you power because that's what everybody wants. People want power. Power trumps money all the time. Money can get you power, but power is what a lot of these people are after. And so same thing with level of government. If you're a fucking mayor in a small town, nobody's going to tell you here's the fucking deal. But when you start getting to like you might be the governor, you might be a fucking congressperson, a senator, these types of things. Somebody for sure says, okay, here's the rules of the game now. And it depends on how big of a player you are and how big of a threat you are too. I think your first time in Congress, probably not. They're not gonna. But if you start looking like you're gonna be an incumbent where you're gonna get voted in every fucking time, for sure somebody takes you to another fucking room and says, "Okay, here's the deal, and here's how we operate." And even if it's not as straightforward as like, the joke is like the CIA keeps presidents in line by sliding them that picture of JFK across the table. Like, hey, you wanna fuck with the CIA in your presidency? Look at this. I don't think it's that blunt, but they'll basically be like, okay, this is what we do now. And you'll be like, why? That's not what I'm here to do. Well, if you're not going to do that, then you're not going to get this. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get this. We're going to not deny all these things. And you're like, whoa, but I want to. No, 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 no. This is the process. So I think Epstein kind of exposed a little bit what was going on in those higher levels of fucking government and money spheres. And now that we know the like hazing rituals, quote unquote, that they do, and I hate to compare it that way because what he was doing was horrific. But what I'm saying is to keep that level of money and power in check, you need that level of blackmail on them so that they don't go rogue. Nah. Because perfect example of that, and it's fine because he worked with the current administration right now. But the perfect example of that was fucking Elon. And I'm not here to talk whether you like Elon or not. Personally, I don't fucking like the guy. I don't hate him, but I'm just like, he's not the fucking like God King that like everybody's like sometimes like makes him out to be. But perfect example there. The guy's got fucking billions, and he kind of just like went rogue a little bit this year. Not like rogue in the sense that like he was like doing fucking anything that he wanted, but I think this year kind of proved that if he wanted to, he could. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the guys, like, they're like, no, he's not that powerful. The motherfucker can fly into space. What do you mean? He's got more power than most countries do. Like, it's fucking crazy. But, yeah, so I think with the whole thing, unless they come out with better documentation, I really do think that fucking Epstein didn't kill himself. And they either killed him to squash the whole thing, or some people think that the tape blackout was they went in and swapped his body with a different body.
Ooh.
And that fucking he's off scot-free somewhere. And it's crazy to me that they killed that whole case because he was dead, because usually that kind of shit doesn't just get like quashed because the fucking person dies. Like that's like, oh yeah, somebody was going to be convicted of murder and then they died in jail. They're like, oh yeah, we're just going to drop the murder trial now. And it's like, no, we still need to sort out, did he do that thing? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's what's got the problem with it. Like, he died, and then they're like, oh, well, there's no case anymore. Yeah, what about all his victims? What do you mean?
What about all the shit that happened? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to figure out if this is the thing. We need that client list. And then when they have that fucking client list, his victims should be able to sue those fucking clients. But, so much weird shit with that thing. Like the fucking, he had the picture of Bill Clinton in a dress over his mantle in his New York fucking condo. Dude,
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, he had. I think it was supposed to be the Monica Lewinsky dress, but he had this massive fucking portrait of Bill Clinton in a fucking dress, like as a basically like, yeah, I fucking own you kind of like power move. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy. It was crazy, all that shit. But yeah, besides that, then we had to fucking another little plane crash thing happen. I don't know if you saw that with the record producer or whatnot. It was out in California. Another plane went down, which that would start to get concerning.
San Francisco, right?
Yeah. We have plane crashes every year, but fucking the amount of air traffic fuckery that's going on in the U.S. right now is starting to get concerning.
The last 365 days, yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's not this hasn't built up overnight. This has been a cascade of failures for a while now that we haven't like looked at. But I'm like, dude, we need if air travel becomes not as the safest form of transportation anymore, we're gonna be in trouble. But so much moves through the air, and And I'm not even concerned about the fact that like people don't realize how much cargo moves through the fucking air. And if we got issues with like shit just dropping, like it's going to be a problem. I don't want massive cargo planes fucking just dropping out of the air over major populated areas because our fucking air traffic control can't get their shit together and we can't recruit people for it.
Ugh.
That is one of those fields that to attract more people to it, I would like. I'm not a big fan of government subsidies, but that's one of those things where I wouldn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you're an air traffic controller at a major airport, you could definitely make six figures. If you're at a smaller one, good fucking luck. But I think we should subsidize that up to like everybody makes it. Because that's why we don't have as many, because they don't want to move around. And people don't even realize like that you can make that much money doing that shit. And I don't even think you need a degree for it. I think you just need the training course.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredibly stressful it's supposed to be, right? Air
Why?
traffic controller.
Why, though? I feel like people say that, but I feel like it's stressful in the first couple of months, and then it's just like any other job. You get used to it. You know, you get numb to the fact that you're dealing with all this shit, unless you have like a fucking close call. But like, I think there's like short shifts that they work on anyway. They can't work for more than, I think, 4 hours at a time before they got to rotate them out. Because they're like, you get tired, you get fatigued, and a lot of that stuff's automated now anyway. You know what I mean? They're just telling them you're coming in on this runway, and then they just go boop into the computer, and the computer handles the rest of the fucking like we're gonna track it all the way through. I don't know the specifics. I'd be interested in it. I wouldn't mind doing that job actually. I think it'd be fun. Like a little nerve-wracking for sure, but like I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
I don't know.
but I mean, like the radar blip that happened in Newark, they gave those guys 45 days paid of like of basically like stress and trauma pay. Like, oh, we had a blip on the radar system, and now they get 45 days off. They get 45 days off? What about the fucking pilots that you said when the radar went out? Good luck. Figure it out. Hope your visuals are good. It's like, yeah, that sucks, but you're like, you're not the one in the air. Like, what the fuck, man? I need trauma. It's like fucking like if you're the guy in the fucking dispatch office in a police station and an officer gets shot and then you need 45 days of trauma pay. It's like, bitch, you didn't get shot. Like, what are you talking about? I understand maybe they're your buddy and you need a day or two off. That's perfectly reasonable. Like, if you were on the job at Newark when that shit went down and they're like, yeah, take a long weekend. Take the next 3 days off. Something like that, you know? Perfectly understandable. Take a month and a half off? For what?
It's crazy.
Nobody even crashed. That was the miraculous part of that whole fucking thing. They had the blip. Everything worked out fine. Luckily. Knock on wood for that one. But
well, so if they gave them a month and a half off, then who the fuck else is?
Oh, well, that's the next thing. They're like, we got air traffic control shortages now at Newark, and then they had another blip, and then I think it made it worse because then they were like, oh, well, I want that fucking month and a half off too. Fucking crazy to me. Yeah, we got issues because we got shortages. So what'd you do? Oh, we give half the people like fucking a month and a half off. It's like, what? Why? Why would you do that?
That makes the opposite of sense.
Yeah. So there's a lot of world. Well, like, you know me. I've always said, does it make sense? No. That's why we do it. And it applies to everything in the world. But yeah, so that the Epstein shit, I don't think we'll ever get that sorted. I don't ever think we'll get the full documentation. And if we do, it'll probably be after we're all dead. And everybody involved that could have been in that scandal will be dead. But and even then, maybe not. Because again, as soon as things get to certain like levels of power and influence and spheres, they will never release that information because it puts the whole system in jeopardy. And just like people, I firmly believe all the time, people want to release certain things and do the right thing. And then then they tell you, okay, well, you could tell everybody about this, but if you do that, we believe these areas are going to go into chaos and turmoil, and this is how many people are going to die because you do that. Do you still want to do it? And they're like, shit.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So, I could still think they're pieces of shit, but I don't envy that position. Especially like the military and fucking like,
everyone coming into is going to have good intentions, and then
yeah, you get jaded or broken by the system, or that you realize to do certain things in the system, you have to work within the system, which is fucking gross sometimes. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to fix the world problems. If I did, I wouldn't be here. I just know how to look at the world problems and go, yeah, that's fucked up. And fucking tell people when they're like, oh yeah, everything's good, everything's fine. I'm like, what do you mean? Have you been paying attention? Or when they're like, how did it get this way? I'm like, well, it's been getting that way for a very long fucking time now. And just because now it affected you, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
How did it get this way? Well, we were in caves and started drawing on walls.
Yeah. Well, Jesus Christ. But no, I mean, like, even with the deportation thing right now, right? Fucking, they're lucky. They're lucky that Trump is being nice and playing within the rules for right now, because fucking people forget that we did the Patriot Act, and that's a thing. And that fucking, if he really wanted to, he could fucking enact that and just start disappearing people off the street to fucking Guantanamo Bay and never give them a trial. That's the thing. Fucking the Patriot Act made it legal for fucking the U.S. to basically do what the Nazis in Germany do and fucking just Stasi take people off the streets and disappear them. No trial. Your family will never know where the fuck you went, and no one will hear from you again. There's people in Guantanamo Bay right now that have been there for decades with no fucking trial.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about it. And every time, because we have to renew the Patriot Act, every time the Patriot Act comes back up, everyone renews it. It's fucking wild. Like, and people are like, but I can't believe that they deported them without a trial. Be glad that's all they did. The fucking powers that the government have is fucking crazy.
I don't know what kind of information that comes about when they come through and then say, yeah, we got to renew that act. They're privy to some shit for sure.
I don't know. They probably just say we got to do it so that we can keep those fucking people there. So like the bulk of them are terrorists that they don't want to put on trial because they don't want to fucking expose all of that shit. So they just like leave them sitting there. Or it's because they might have intentions to do certain things, or they might have been like high level leadership, but they didn't actually do anything. It's kind of like gangs where they have the younger gang members do the crimes, and same kind of thing. So these guys might have been leading these cells, but never actually did anything. So if we took them to trial, they might fucking just get away, and then they just have to let them go. So, but that doesn't mean it's right. Like, yeah, put them under fucking watch. But especially nowadays with how the sentiment of certain things are going in the Middle East, they might actually be more likely to get off with a jury here in the United States. So who knows? Fucking world's crazy. Your cat is very dialed in right now. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna get YouTube flagged on this video for sure. I've been talking about too much wild and crazy shit. Where it's just like you're getting a peek into the inner working of my brain today, folks. Where I just fucking like I have too much information on my mind, and I've been like watching shit for too long. And again, it's fun when you go and you find out the shit that actually is true. It makes you fucking question the shit that may or may not be true. Like the Tuskegee experiments, then leading to the Guatemala experiments that happened in the 70s. And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, when we decided to fucking give black people syphilis and then tell them we were treating them, but we were giving them a placebo just to see what would happen.
Fucked up shit.
Especially because we had the treatment. And we already knew what late stage syphilis looked like, but we did it anyway. And then we moved on from there to trying to do it with prisoners, right? So we allowed prisoners to have conjugal visits with hookers and like that had been infected with syphilis, and they shut that one down. not because of moral fucking problems with it, but because the scientists were upset about the fact that the transmission rate wasn't fucking high enough. So they would do this, and it fucking they would probably have to have one of them do it like 10 times before they actually got like infected with syphilis. So because the transmission rate wasn't high enough, they were like, fucking shut that down.
Jeez.
And then we went to a little village in Guatemala and infected the entire village with it. And fucking didn't treat them and let them die. And this is all files that have been released of like the shit that we fucking did. And people are like, wow, how could you believe these conspiracy theories? Because have you seen the fucking shit that they've done?
Because they do fucked up shit.
Yeah. And again, my gripe with that is always, it's because we brought the fucking Nazi scientists back here. And that's what set the backbone for our science. We were like, these guys did some crazy shit. Hey, you don't want to be locked in a fucking war prison forever? Come here to the U.S. And again, Russia, love them or hate them, they did the fucking right thing. They also grabbed Nazi scientists. They got the information. And then when they got the information from them, they fucking killed them. They didn't let them inform their science. They were like, oh, how'd you do that? Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Poof. Done.
At least lock them up.
We went, how the fuck did you do that thing? And then we gave them nice fucking cushy houses to live in. Like, what the fuck, man? Like people don't realize the whole experimenting on animals thing, like all these fucking cruel things that we've done over the years have happened after we introduced that into our science. Like,
but we've done this one before.
Yeah. Again, like Werner von Braun, the one that headed the fucking rocket program in fucking NASA. Fucking that guy had a rocket factory in Nazi Germany where he hung the slowest workers in front of the factory. We brought that guy here and headed NASA. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, the guy made rockets. Cool. Find out that rocket technology and then fucking put that. If you don't want to kill him, put him in a fucking jail cell somewhere. Don't let that guy see the light of day. Don't let him be out like working in fucking broad daylight with fucking scientists. That motherfucker, he should have never even been in NASA. I wouldn't even put him under like fucking like a guarded thing in NASA. I would have put him in a jail cell and let the NASA scientists come see him in the jail cell and then fucking question him for the information. And at least that way would have instilled in their mind that, okay, behaving in the way this guy does is bad. Yeah. Fucking wild. I still love fucking Archer for that and all the call outs that they do. There's fucking the episode where what is it? Krieger comes out as being like the clone of like fucking like Hitler. He's like, you have a damn clone of fucking Hitler working here for us. Oh, relax. It's like fucking like we don't have that elsewhere. It's like NASA, riddle them. To go in there and fucking say Heil Hitler and see how many people raise their hands. And fucking, I didn't get the joke at the time, and then I looked into it and I'm like, what the fuck, man? So we have that like interlaced everywhere, and it's just like, yeah. So bottom line, people, don't trust the government. Don't do fucked up things. This is by no means a call to action, but don't trust the government.
Maybe not don't trust the government. Don't blindly trust the government.
Don't trust them at all. Just don't trust them at all. What is it? The five scariest words is we're the, or is it 8? How is it? The scariest thing is we're the government and we're here to help. Like, good fucking luck. But I don't know. I just muse about it. I know there's nothing I could really do about it. I vote. That's about it. You know, that's about the extent of how I'm going. I tell people about the fucked up shit all the time, but like, you know, whatever you want to do with that information is whatever you want to do with it. Just like when somebody tells me shit's good, I question it.
I just had a thought it'd be funny to just like make a crashing sound and cut the podcast and post it like that.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, they're fucking. The house gets raided tomorrow at 6 a.m. Oh, what's going on? No, and again, it's I want this to be known and perfectly clear to everyone. This is by no means at all and should never be taken that way as a call to action. This is a call for you to stay informed. That's all. That's why we're called the Informed and Oblivious podcast. Stay informed on things, update things all the time, and know that too, with a lot of this shit, just like everything else, there's a lot of fucking fake information that comes out there. And to look no further than look how many people got suckered by the QAnon shit. Because they wanted to believe it. Oh, we're going to go and do this. This is a high-level guy from the government leaking this information. It's just somebody trolling on a forum. Like even like when people first started, I was like, I don't know. I don't fucking believe this shit. Like you guys are like fucking crazy. But that's the thing. People want to believe these things. It's a great story. And that's what a lot of the conspiracies are. They're great stories, you know what I mean?
What's the fucking video game with the planes and shit where like actual military personnel will go on and leak like legitimate plane specs into the shit because it's not right in the game?
Oh, War Thunder, right? Yeah. War Thunder has like actual like military specs on their vehicles.
People leak this shit because it's not right and they want to.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But fucking like, you know, and shit like that. Like, if you want to dive into them, they're fun. But unless actual documentation of the things has come out, don't fucking believe it. Don't believe it at all. That's why I referenced the Guatemala experiment stuff, because that actually. Through the Freedom of Information Act request, we got all this. We got the pictures. We got the documentation, and we even later found out that fucking Hitler didn't die in Germany.
Yeah, we
died in South America. Whoops, that was fun. That was fun when we released those documents that we sent the fucking Secret Service down to South America to find Hitler, and it looks like they probably did. Because we know for sure the Russians don't have his body. We know that one. That one was fun.
We've been over this one before. And
yeah.
I think a couple times probably.
But not on the podcast. We haven't talked about that. No.
Sure? I'm fairly sure.
I don't think we talked about how they tested the skull and found out that it was in fact not Hitler because regardless of whose body, it's a female body. So, whoops. And if they were covering up stuff like that back then, figure out how much easier it is for them to do it now. And fucking all you got to do is spread a little bit of disinformation out there, and fucking easy. The thing gets so muddled and muddied that people don't know what's what. And because we have such short attention spans now, nobody circles back to be like, hey, what the fuck happened there? And never forget, people, that the CIA is the one that coined the term conspiracy theory.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So it was after the whole JFK thing. So to dissuade people of any involvement from the fucking government, whatnot, or the CIA, because there was linkage there between the people involved in the JFK assassination and the CIA. Now, whether the CIA directly did anything is still to this day like not proven. And again, if there was documents, probably gone. So my feeling is that they didn't have any direct involvement. Maybe indirect involvement of like, yeah, you should fucking, guys should take some action against this shit. But no direct involvement. And that's I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so because of that, they went and said anybody like believing things to the contrary were conspiracy theorists. Mm-hmm. They're just making shit up. It's a conspiracy theory. So like because people trusted the news and the government a lot more back then, when that came out in the news, if you had anything to the contrary, they're like, you're just a fucking crackpot. Like, what do you mean? And that's been used for every kind of like weird thing, like all the way like since. Like, oh, you believe this thing to the contrary? You're a fucking conspiracy theorist. Like, what? What do you mean? I'm just questioning what's going on. Pfft, why would you do that? Don't question it. That's why you get things later where they're like, don't question the science. It's like, were you guys not paying attention in school? Because that's exactly what science is supposed to do.
Question everything.
Yeah. Like, you guys know what peer-reviewed, like, things are, right? Like, that's literally questioning the science. Somebody gives you some science, and then you say, hey, can you guys check my math here? Like, make sure this is right? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? It fucking blows my mind. People are like, question the science, question the science. It's like, fucking whatever. Do everything you want for yourselves. Fucking do your own research. Fucking talk to your own healthcare providers. But I will always go back to the COVID vaccine and say, again, talk to your doctor, whatever your own personal medical choices to make the right things for you. But I would say nothing made me trust that shit less than the fact that the fucking government was not only giving you government in the U.S., I don't know about other countries, you guys have different systems, but the government in the U.S. was not only giving you healthcare for free, they were in often cases giving you extra shit on top. We had lotteries, we had guns being given away, they were giving you free food and shit. Bitch, we can't get free healthcare here. I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me that it doesn't cost anything? Dude, if they had fucking told me that the COVID vaccine was going to cost you $3,000 out of pocket, I would have lined up the next day. I would have been like, that shit works. It's fucking miracle cure. You know what I mean? But they're like, I'm like, wait, the United States government is giving me healthcare for free? That's where I was like, I don't know about that one. We don't even fucking give people insulin for free in this fucking country. like, what the fuck, man? So again, not medical advice, not at all. And I'm not like, you know, things have come out more with that on either way. So it's all your personal medical freedom and choice. But that one, I was just like, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, go get the shot. We'll put you in a lottery to win millions of dollars. What? What do you mean? This is weird. Fucking, they don't do that shit for your routine checkup.
Nope.
I feel like if we want more effective like health programs in this country, that's what it should always be. Go get your yearly checkup and we'll enter you in this lottery to fucking win money. I don't know. Fucking craziness. But I need more coffee now. I've been rambling for a long time. And I guess this episode turned more from being like random to be like, don't trust authority. I don't know, people. My brain's fucked up.
That's why you're entertaining.
Yeah, well, maybe we should do early morning podcasts anymore. I need alcohol to numb the fucking craziness in my brain. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun going down rabbit hole. Yeah, do research, people. The world's a crazy and fucked up place, but it always has been a crazy and fucked up place. Like you were saying, since the cave drawing times, you know? It's just the crazy and fucked up changes the scale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, back then, they're going out, fucking, they're like, what happened to George? Oh, he got fucking impaled by a woolly mammoth today. He's not coming back. Fuck, man.
Just the scale of viewability of the fucked upness used to be smaller.
Yeah.
Now it's in our pocket every day.
Yeah. Like, fucking imagine being like a caveman back then. You're just like going out through the woods. You're like, what the fuck is that? You hear something fucking creaking. Fucking all of a sudden, fucking tiger jumps out, just fucking mauls your buddy right in front of you. You're like, oh my God.
Ted ate that berry and died. Don't eat that berry.
Yeah. Don't eat that shit.
Oh, George boiled the berry first and he didn't die. All right, boil those berries then.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's fucking crazy. Well, they say a lot of the stuff that we ate early on was we watched other animals eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, that's probably safe. And then we realized that we can't eat everything that other animals eat because sometimes we eat that shit and it would fuck us up. You're like, oh, shit, I guess we can't eat that. But we could probably kill that thing that ate that, and that would be fun.
And we can eat a lot of things that other animals can't, so.
Yeah. It's, but. All right, we're going to wrap this one up, folks, because I'm going to continue to ramble. And, yeah, hopefully you found it a little entertaining today. If any of these crazy topics that I went on you want to talk about more in a future episode,
drop a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment letting us know what you'd like more on. And next week I'll try to have a more structured podcast again. But this kind of gave you all an insight to where my random thought tangents come from, because I'm just like, I'm looking at this shit all the fucking time.
The depths of his deep, dark soul.
Yeah. Dark soul. No, I don't know about that. Gray, maybe.
All right, folks.
Well, hold on.
Well, there's more?
We got to do the outro, man. Don't say goodbye.
I was going to do it. Go ahead.
Okay, no, you do it. You do it. No, I've talked too much. You do it.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to drop us a like, comment, subscribe. And you can find us on Spotify, Rumble, and YouTube.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Peace.